What's up, fight fans? As always, thank you so much for coming through. Much appreciated. All right, let's get straight into it. Win or bust for Kell Brook. I'm a huge fan of Kell Brook and have been for a number of years. I think his career has been mismanaged. I've spoken about this on a number of videos, so we're not going to get into that on this video. He's done something that a lot of boxers don't really do, which is take risks. He's rolled the dice twice in his last two fights, and unfortunately, his numbers just haven't come up. And that's boxing, right? Sometimes you roll that dice, you get a big win, and it can kind of almost elevate you to new levels. Unfortunately for Kell Brook, he's come up against Triple G at middleweight, which is unreal, and then he's come up against, if you like, the new boogeyman of boxing, Errol Spence at 147. Absolutely no shame in both of those losses, especially the Gennady Golovkin loss. I think a lot of people have to remember, and I think you all can, at that time, and still to this day, I think Gennady Golovkin was so feared, it was scary. And here comes Kell Brook, not getting a fight at 147, not really getting a big name at 154, and he decides to jump up two weight classes and take on the boogeyman. And in hindsight, was it a mistake? Probably. I think it's easy to say it was a mistake now because he lost. He wins that fight, or he causes Gennady Golovkin serious problems, which he probably did to an extent in round, I think, 4. He gets applauded, but he didn't. It didn't go his way, so it now looks like a stupid decision. And after that fight, I think that's when the serious discussions come in. So you look on the table, you look what's out there, you look at what financially is out there, and I don't think Errol Spence is the best option. I understand that he would have lost his title, although I do think he could have taken a medical exemption because of the orbital bone issue. But Errol Spence probably isn't the best option for you after you've been fighting at 160. So you've already got to drop down a huge amount of weight to fight Errol Spence, and then you're fighting a guy that is high on confidence as well. So in hindsight, that probably wasn't the best decision, but it's one that he did. So we go into this fight against Rabchenko, and which is why I say it's win or bust, because there's a number of things that we have to look at here. Mentally, where is Kell Brook? Kell Brook's opened up in the last sort of 2-3 weeks before this fight, saying, look, mentally, especially after the Errol Spence loss, he was at a very, very bad place. He talks about drinking. He talks about wanting to be alone, talking about not seeing his friends, his family. And I think he needed that big rest from boxing. I think he's got a bit of fire up his arse now, especially with Billy Joe Saunders in that camp. I think he's gone over and supported Billy Joe Saunders in a David Lemieux fight, and I think that's given him that extra incentive to get back on top. For a long time, Kell Brook's been the man in that Ingle gym. He probably isn't anymore. That title with Billy Joe Saunders, and I think deep down there'll be a little rivalry there. Kell Brook wants to be the man in that gym still, so he's got a chance to try and reclaim that throne, starting with Rabchenko on Saturday. Physically, how is Kell Brook? We don't know. We don't know. I mean, 2 broken orbital bones, it's big problems. After fighting back-to-back fights against Gennady Golovkin and Errol Spence and having 2 surgeries, you wouldn't have begrudged Kell Brook if he took an easier fight. You wouldn't have. I mean, he could have easily had an 8-round warm-up, like a lot of these fighters do, a 10-round warm-up. But he's gone in there with a live opponent. Rabchenko isn't a killer, we know that, but he's been in there with decent fighters. Cedric Vitu was a decent win. That was for the European title. Obviously, he's lost, like I said, to Mundine. He's lost to Tony Harrison, but he can mix it up. So this is it now. We're rolling the dice with Kell Brook again. He loses this, it's it. That's it. He loses this fight, and that's it. It's done. I don't know about retirement, but that's it. It's done in terms of the Amir Khan fight. It's done in terms of big title fights at 154. He wins, he gets another win, and then obviously, hopefully, we might finally see the Amir Khan fight. Or he could be chucked in that mix with the big boys of the division. And I mean the big boys of the division. I'm talking Charlo, I'm talking Hurd, I'm talking Trout, Lubin, or maybe even Liam Smith. I mean, Liam Smith, it looks like will fight Saddam Ali, and he's got a good chance to win the WBO title. Could Kell Brook have a big British unification fight with Liam Smith? You never know. But look, win or bust for Kell Brook. I pray to God he wins. I love fighters like Kell Brook. And I feel like, at least for those 2 fights against Spence and GGG, he deserves to get a good luck now. He deserves a bit of good luck. And fingers crossed he gets it at Rabchenko. And fingers crossed he can go and win a few more big fights. And then get the chance to smash Amir Khan. Because that's really what I want him to do. Sorry for all the Amir Khan fans out there, but it's true. I want him to smash him to pieces.